I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You will never be what I expected. Different frequencies, that's why we ain't connected. You know I will make it through, I got nothing to lose but you. It's true you're so far away, and it's true I can feel the same. It's another day, you know you want me to stay, but I go my way. I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not, because I still believe you're my gravity. You're my gravity. You're calling out my name, but the echo numbs your pain. Sorry, but more than just a shadow, I'm more than just a man. You don't care how I feel, you don't know how I feel. No, you don't know how. I wash away the sorrow till my heart can beat again. You're my gravity. No, you're my gravity. I will let you go. The only thing that I know, you were my gravity, but now I had to leave. I will let you go. Why do you think that I want? Why do you think that I want? I know how to breathe into my gravity. 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 I know it's hard, I know it's complicated, but I promised you I've been waiting here forever. I had a much to say, but you're not here with me. No, we're invincible, like fire in the snow. Trust me when I say you are my beautiful world, and I'm feeling it all. We should make an effort. It's true you're so far away, and it's true you don't feel the same. But if you take my hand, we can try and go back. Starting from scratch, I won't let you go. No, I can't let you go, 'cause you're my gravity, and I will never leave. I won't let you go. No, baby, I will not.
Warning: the Duracell Cup Series data file you have attempted to access is out of date. Uploading current file now.
It's a brand new car from stem to stern, and it's never been raced at these speeds.
The next gen car is opportunity.
Everything is different with the exception of like the seat, the steering wheel, and your helmet.
Unknown creates excitement.
Talking about my generation.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome here as we get set for Pole Day qualifying in preparation for our 6th race of the playoffs here in Season 8 of the NNSCRA Duracell Next Gen Cup Series. It is the second elimination race here of the playoffs. We will, at the conclusion of this weekend, have whittled our playoff grid down from 12 drivers to our remaining 8. Our playoff grid will be cut in half from where we started back at Gateway. We know one driver that is moving on, 7 drivers still yet to be determined. At least one other driver could win their way into the next round, but we will have a minimum of 6 drivers that will have to rely on points. We will find out exactly who those 8 drivers all will be, but we've got to set the field here for this race weekend, and we'll start things off with the expedited 5-minute session for the go or go home drivers. Pretty easy this week. Only our 4 full-time non-chartered machines have shown up here in the desert. Kyle Langland going to be the first one out here. Top 2 will transfer into the 42 car field this weekend. 2 drivers will be going home. Langland looking to pull off the double here this week. We'll see him later on this afternoon as he looks to advance his way into the final 4 on the light side. One of 9 remaining playoff contenders over there in what was a unique situation at the close of Dover a couple of weeks ago. Langland looking to make his 8th start of the season. 2 top 5s. Those his only 2 top 10s as well so far. Average finishing position of just a little under 17.5. He is on the clock. He'll set the benchmark for the other 3 drivers here with a little under 3 minutes remaining. 31.661. Gonna be the lap to beat out of the Icebreakers Dark Horse Mustang, fielded out of World NOS Racing. Bryce Egan in the Haas Racing Toyota Camry. Haas brought some fast cars here yesterday in the Light Series races. Later on this afternoon, they will start 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 8th. Let's see if that speed transfers over to the Cup cars, as Egan is looking to make his 14th start on the season, and he will score a 31.576. That is going to put him 2nd on the board right now, as I believe Langland just ran a faster lap on his 2nd lap there. Hiccup Bush will now jump to 2nd fastest with a 31.493, so his outlap faster than Egan's. And Autumn Brooks is currently on the clock. Hiccup Bush, saw him participate last week at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, his 4th start on the season. Average finishing position of 15.5, 2 top 10s in his first 4 career starts here in Cup Series action. And we'll see what he puts down here for his 2nd lap. Improves from a 4.93 to a 4.10, but that does not improve his positioning on the scoring charts as Autumn Brooks comes to the line, and she'll jump to third place, 31.334 for her initial lap, the Mazda out of Garage 55. Autumn is looking to make her 20th start on the season. Right now it's Kyle Langland at the top of the board, though, 31.184, and that may be difficult to beat. He's going to get the benefit of having been out there the longest, of having his tires up to temperature, and may have gotten that optimal lap. Looks like his lap times have fallen off here now. Well, as soon as I say that, he just improved to a 31.146. That, however, only puts him second on the board. Someone's eclipsed that. A couple drivers have eclipsed that. He just went from the point to second to third as Egan lays down nearly a 31 flat, a 0.75. That puts him at the top of the board. Autumn Brooks, 31.141 to second place. Looks for an improvement here, and she will go into the high 30s with a 30.944. No improvement for Egan, no improvement for Langland. Hiccup Bush, currently the slowest of the four with 5 seconds to go. Got to be a money lap here if you're the Brandt Dark Horse Mustang, and there will be an improvement, but it won't be by much. 3.01 for Bush as Brooks runs another high 30, this time a 9.78, 300ths off of her 9.44. Langland still no improvement, 800 slower than his fastest lap and 0.2 slower that time for Bryce Egan, but he might be safe enough with that 31.0 to advance into this weekend's race. Autumn Brooks is definitely locked in with the high 30s. Looks like it's going to be roughly about 7/100ths, the difference of who's going to transfer and who is not. Egan will get in as lap times no longer being scored. Langland and Hiccup Bush, looks like World NOS Racing will only have one car in the field this weekend. They're two non-charter cars, not able to get it done here in this qualifying session, and they will be your DNQs at Arizona. 30.9, that's an incredible single car lap time there for Autumn Brooks. We'll see if that speed transfers over into this next round of qualifying. Bryce Egan will lock into the field as well, and Langland and Hiccup Bush, they will have to try again next week when we go from the West Coast over to the East Coast at Boston International. So now we know the 42 drivers that will participate this weekend here at Arizona. We've now got to set the starting lineup, find out who's going to be on the pole position in preparation here for this weekend's second elimination race of the playoffs. Don't go anywhere. Coverage of qualifying will continue right after this quick commercial break from the Arizona Speedway. Thank you for tuning in to today's broadcast on NNSCRA TV. If you enjoyed your watching, it would help us out a lot if you'd hit that like button. Also, if you're not already, be sure to subscribe to become a part of the NNSCRA crew today. And if you're on your phone, be sure to click that bell to be notified whenever we have a broadcast here on NNSCRA TV. Once again, we thank you for your support, and we hope you continue to enjoy today's broadcast. All right, getting ready for our second and final round of qualifying here for the Cup Series drivers to set the lineup for this weekend's race from Arizona Speedway. We will be putting a highlight on our remaining 12 playoff contenders specifically here in this event, see where they're going to be rolling off, as one driver already has gotten the deed done. He is locked into the next round. That would be Reggie Fogelman, who we saw last time out at the Atlanta Motor Speedway go to victory lane for the second time this season. He had a victory previously, got his first win of the season back at Kentucky, followed it up with the victory last week at Atlanta. He's won his way into the next round. 7 more drivers will be joining him at the conclusion of this race weekend, and it is pandemonium as drivers galore making their way off of pit road. May have seen exactly what we saw, the benefit of track time there. And it looks like Keith Batson going to be the first one out of a number of drivers that left pit lane altogether. Drivers obviously trying to leave in groups as well to get the benefit of a draft lap. Draft laps will certainly be up at the top of the board in this one. One would certainly have to assume, and you want to probably get those draft laps sooner rather than later, because we saw at least yesterday in the Light Series qualifying session, those lap times came in about the first 5 minutes of the session. Second 5 minutes, it was really, they were out there logging laps. Nobody was really able to improve at all. The tires had worn down enough, grip had gone away in the racetrack, so those qualifying laps were no longer feasible. So we'll wait here to see what Keith Batson's going to have for his up-to-speed lap here, with tires at optimal temperature. We'll set the benchmark for everybody else as 31.338 for the Sprite Dark Horse Mustang out of KEB Racing Enterprises. Start looking at some of our playoff drivers. There's one of them coming off of pit road, as we'll show you the speeds here, cycling on the top of your screen. They will have to refresh itself from the lights times here, or not the lights times, the go home qualifying session times. But Nick Gunther coming into this race 5th in the point standings. We'll be talking a lot about the cut line here tomorrow afternoon, and Gunther currently finds himself 9 points ahead of said cut line. Pretty decent run last week at the Atlanta Motor Speedway, gained 4 spots in the standings as well, so bit of breathing space, bit of a cushion here, and we saw obviously Autumn Brooks indicating some pretty good speed out of the Garage 55 Mazdas, but Gunther right now just trying to get his car up to speed here, and we'll check in on him, see what his lap times are a little bit later on in the session. James Qualls in the 70, coming into this one currently in 3rd in the standings. He is 23 points ahead of the cut line coming into this race. Actually, hold on. Am I correct on that? Let me just double check. I believe that's incorrect. No, he is 13 points ahead of the cut line. I was going to say, that seemed like a little too much with what my my math was showing me there. 13 points to the good above the cut line coming into this one, but another driver, much like Gunther, that's got some breathing space between himself and that 8th in the standings. Cannot afford a bad run here, though. If you have a bad run, I'm looking at drivers like, you know, James Qualls, Nick Gunther, Ryan Brommer, Daniel Voiles. You have a bad run here tomorrow evening, you're probably going to fall below the cut line. There's just so many drivers, so many points up for grabs here. A bad run could put you in a really tricky position. Jack Mitchell, right now 16th fastest on the board in the Adrenaline Motorsports Chevrolet. He did not have a good run last time out at Atlanta. He dropped from 2nd to 9th in the standings. He comes into this race 1 point below the 8th in the standings cut line. And the driver that he is battling is actually right behind him. That's Destin Bolin. He's going to be the driver with all the pressure here this weekend, as he is that cut line driver, 8th in the standings. He is going to be the determiner of pretty much where that cut line goes. Does it go up? Does it go down? We'll have to wait and see. It's going to be really tough if you're the 4-time winner of trying to make sure you know where everybody else is around you, and the points are super, super close right now. Matt Haas making his way on by. You see a lot of playoff spoilers right there. Haas coming into this race in another critical spot. That is 12th of the 12 remaining playoff drivers. That is dead last of your remaining contenders for this championship. Worst thing for Matt Haas is that first 2 races of this round have been horrible. He has lost a lot of ground to that 8th in the standings cut line. He is a total of 29 points below the cut line. I'm not saying it's a must-win situation for him, but it's almost a must-win situation for that driver out of Haas Racing. Now for the other Haas Racing car that's in this fight for the championship, he's got an easy job here tomorrow afternoon, as he's already locked in to the round of 8. His victory last week at Atlanta Motor Speedway afforded him that luxury. So keep an eye on Reggie Fogelman. Nothing to lose, everything to gain. He could end up carrying 10 bonus points into the next round. He's already got 5 with his victory here in this round of 12 that he will bring into the round of 8. So he's just got the mentality, go out there and win himself another race. Look for his 3rd victory on the season. Daniel Voiles, the other driver here in this group of playoff contenders. Daniel coming into this race in the 6th position in the standings. It's been a pretty decent first round for him, but he doesn't have a whole lot of wiggle room. Only 4 points to the good above that 8th in the standings cut line coming into this weekend. So needs to perform again here tomorrow afternoon if he's going to advance his way into the round of 8. RJ Bishop comes into this race 10th in points. He's below the cut line, 8 points below the 8th in the standings cut line as well. This is his home track. This and Phoenix, as RJ an Arizona native. He'd love to show out in front of his home crowd, advance his way into the next round of the playoffs, but gonna have to put together a solid race. So right now he's 13th fastest on the board. Levi McIntyre is the other driver that's below the cut line. So Mitchell, Bishop, Haas, we've already documented. Levi McIntyre, who is a former winner here from 1 season ago, as it was a McIntyre versus McIntyre battle here during the playoffs. Levi coming into this won 11th of the 12 playoff contenders. He is a total of 15 points below the cut line. Last week, Atlanta Motor Speedway did not fare well for him, as he dropped 4 spots in the standings from 7th, just above the cut line, to now 11th of the 12 playoff drivers. Trying to find the other playoff contenders. There's one on Carson Gum. Carson comes into this race 7th in points. He actually was kind of the flip of Levi McIntyre last week. He was below the cut line, 11th in the standings going into that Atlanta race. A good run jumped him up 4 spots in the standings. He is now 7th in the standings, 2 points to the good. So again, much like a Daniel Voiles or a Destin Bolin, not a lot of wiggle room here this weekend. Needs another good, solid outing to advance into the round of 8. Got some drivers on pit road there, trying to make some last-minute adjustments. Trying to see, I believe there's a couple of other playoff drivers we've missed. Yep, there's Ryan Brommer, who right now is the highest of the playoff contenders on the leaderboard. He is 2nd fastest currently. Comes into this race 4th in points. He is 11 points ahead of the cut line coming into this weekend. Another driver, really 11 points. That's not a lot of wiggle room. A bad run outside the top 30, top 35, and you can find yourself eliminated. But going to be good starting track position for the Mug Root Beer Toyota Camry. And right behind him, Alexander Rowe would start 3rd in tomorrow afternoon's event. Alexander coming into this race the overall points leader of the 12 remaining playoff drivers, so he has a 32-point cushion back to the cut line here. He's put together even a better first round points, better round points-wise than Reggie Fogelman, who's got the victory by 1 point. I believe we've covered all of our playoff contenders here and what their situations are. How about this for a scenario? Later on this afternoon, Cole Koibe will start from the pole position in the Lake Series race. His sponsor, Vitamin Water. Connor Breton, who is a 3-time winner on the season, is the fastest in Arizona with a 30.449 second lap time. His sponsor, Vitamin Water. I would have to go back, but I'm fairly certain that since we've had the Lights in the Cup Series drivers running the same doubleheader weekends, I don't think we've ever had 2 different drivers, 2 different manufacturers, but the same sponsor start on the pole position in the same race weekend. This could very well be a first. And Breeton's got that pole by quite a hefty margin. I mean, he's nearly a full tenth faster than Ryan Brommer. And you see zeros on the clock, so he is definitely going to hold the pole position here for this weekend, as already session is concluded. Lap times already had stopped being scored, and we are now locked in for our starting lineup for tomorrow afternoon's event. For Connor Breeton, 3 victories on the season, but guess what? That's his first pole here of Season 8, so well done to that team out of Northeast Motorsports. He'll be leading us tomorrow afternoon in the hopes of getting his 4th win on the season, which would tie him for Dustin Bolin, most here in Season 8. Ryan Brommer will be the highest starting of the playoff drivers, as he will share the outside of the front row. Another playoff contender in Alexander Rowe will complete the podium. Kyler Sustre and teammate Reggie Fogelman, they're going to complete the top 5. So Fogelman, who's already locked into the round of 8, looking for his 3rd win on the season, will start with good track position. And Haas Racing overall there. Matt Haas, not too far behind as well, going to be in the 7th position. I mentioned about the fact we kind of wondered if the speed that they showed in qualifying for the Light Series race, where they had all 4 of their Lights drivers qualifying in the top 8, well, there's 3 of them up here inside of the top 7. Michael Norman, good qualifying effort there. Michael Norman Motorsports had some good qualifying efforts in the Light Series race. I think both of the Lights cars are starting up inside the top 10, so that speed obviously transferred over to the Cup side, as Michael will start 6th. Jesse Turner will start in 7th with Cody Lamas, or make that Turner in 8th, rather, with Lamas in 9th, and another Michael Norman Sports car in Nathan Ormond is going to complete the top 10. Where do the rest of the playoff drivers start? There's only 3 of them inside of, make that 4 of them inside of the top 10. Daniel Voiles will start this race in 12th. RJ Bishop in 13th. Remember, those are 2 drivers. Not a lot of wiggle room if you're going to stay ahead of the cut line. Jack Mitchell going to be 17th, Carson Gum in 18th, Levi McIntyre, who won this race 1 season ago, in 19th place. Then you got to go all the way down outside of the top 28 before you find our next playoff contender, which will be James Qualls in 31st. Dustin Bolin, the cut line driver, back in 37th. Lot more pressure mounted on the 4-time winner, and not a whole lot of speed out of the Garage 55 cars, despite the fact that Autumn Brooks raced her way into the field. She was the highest qualifier of those Mazdas in 34th. Nick Gunther and Anthony McCrory, playoff contender Nick Gunther, there will start back in the final row here tomorrow afternoon. So we'll have to see how that all translates. I mentioned this in the Lights qualifying session. Track position isn't necessarily 100% important. You can, with a good long run car, work your way through the field to finish well. But you're going to have to be patient, and you're going to have to rely on a lot of strategy and things to go your way to be able to do so. So we'll see. A couple of our playoff contenders going to be starting this race on pins and needles, as things are very, very close around that cut line. Thank you all for tuning in to this qualifying session here for the Next Gen Cup Series. If you enjoyed it, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to become a part of the crew today. Easy for me to say. I've only been doing this for, 8 seasons. If you we'll show you your qualifying efforts here with Connor Breeton capturing his first pole of the season. We'll see you guys later on this afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern Time for the Light Series drivers. And then tomorrow at 1, it is our second elimination race of the playoffs, as we will determine who will join Reggie Fogelman as part of the Elite 8 to continue the battle for the championship. But until either this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon when you join us next, I've been Seth Cole, and you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of NNSCRA TV, Offline Racing at its best.
following has been a presentation of NNSCRA TV for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the consent of the NNSCRA is prohibited. NNSCRA would like to thank all of our loyal fans, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.